Hey everybody, Tom Barnish, Chicago Scene downtown with a new product that started right here in Chicago, AYO Foods. And the founders of that are my two friends here. This is Fred and Petreet. How are you?
Hey Tom, how's it going?
I'm doing well. Talk about your new brand real quick and what it is, because it's something very unique that hasn't been around anywhere in the United States. Talk about it.
Well, AYO Foods was inspired by our Liberian family with the goal of celebrating the ingredients and flavors of West Africa, and we're so excited to be here with you today to introduce you to the line.
Right, but first, you guys are from Chicago, or you spent time in Chicago. You were Southsider, Fred, right?
Yes, I am, yeah, from Southside, yes.
But you spent time at DePaul, right? That's where you met, and then you even came back to understand for a graduate school. So you have ties to Chicago, Minnesota. Petreet, you from Minnesota, but you spent time in Chicago, and now you're back here in Chicago. Did I get all that right?
You did.
There's a lot there. I might have said it backwards, but I got it.
You got it all right. So Minnesota roots, we fell in love at DePaul. We were neighbors. My sophomore year, Fred's junior year, and the rest is history.
Yeah, I grew up on the south side of Chicago, but went to high school in Minnesota and then came back to where I found my wife, Petreet. So.
Fantastic. And you guys started this company, Chicago-based. You sell here in Chicago, but talk about what this food is.
Well, West African food is known for its incredible slow-cooked layered flavors. And so as we looked at the frozen landscape, we saw a notable gap in the flavors that celebrated West Africa, despite the fact that there was all this impressive growth of other international foods. And so we really wanted to take the time to bring something different to frozen, one that celebrated our Liberian heritage, but also these incredible layered flavors of West Africa.
And you saw this gap in the market where if you walk in any grocery store in the Chicago area, there's lots of options for Italian food that's frozen, Mexican food, Asian food. But this was a great opportunity to not only do something that is true and dear to your heart with your family's history, but also to fill a void in the market.
No, I would say, yeah, that's exactly right. We saw continuously, Petreet and I, as we visited grocery stores across the country, that West African food was absent, and we wanted to make sure that we had an opportunity, with her background and my background, to fulfill that gap. And so we started AYO in 2020, and from there, we're trying to grow as fast as possible.
So what do we have here today? Is one of the sauces, right? That
we've got a couple dishes. So we've included a couple of our frozen favorites. So this is our chicken yassa. This recipe was actually created by our dear friend and top chef, Chef Eric Ajapong. We're also highlighting our dish, which we fondly refer to as the OG rice and peas wache. So that's going to be red peas from the Anson Mills Farm in South Carolina, tossed in a little coconut oil and jasmine rice and garlic. And then we top that off with our Shinto sauce, which is just incredible. We want to make for you today a little slice of home. So this is our Liberian pepper sauce. This is one we can't get enough of. It is hot for your heat seekers out there. But actually, when we launched Puff Puff, we knew it was absent without pepper sauce, and so that is a perfect pairing. So with
that's the Puff Puff, right?
It is. Puff Puff there.
All right, let's get started on the sauce. Let's get
going.
Try some of this.
Awesome.
Sure.
Yeah, so the flavors of West Africa are really known for being kind of lots of layered fresh ingredients and also slow cooking. And so we've prepped a bunch of stuff here. We've got some parsley, some fresh habaneros and tomato, a little basil and garlic. And we're gonna take all of that, we're gonna chop it up quickly and then simmer it.
And these recipes are from your family, going back to your aunts, to all sorts of people within your family tree that have helped you come up with some of these recipes, along with some other chefs you worked on, right?
Yeah, absolutely. So this particular recipe is family recipe. My dad will tell you all the love he put into taking this when we were in prototype development, taking this to all of the local markets and in the Twin Cities to make sure it passed the heat test.
Oh, okay.
We had to cut that off at some point because it could never be hot enough.
Sure.
But it's got some good spice. And then we've got some ginger and garlic going. Okay. We're just gonna throw that whole ginger in there with the peel. It's gonna give it some good extra flavor.
You guys launched this right at the beginning of the pandemic, and you've been doing fine since then as far as small businesses. You've grown. You're the first national West African brand that people can get in the supermarkets, right?
Yes.
Yeah, that's fantastic.
So we make that fresh, a little kosher salt, and then some locust bean gum, which is locust bean is native to West Africa. It actually helps with the texture to give it a nice, smooth, consistent texture. So I'm just gonna chop that up.
It's like me trying to make a smoothie.
A little bit. Okay, so you just want all those flavors to kind of grind together. Mm-hmm. And then that completes kind of part one. And then we're actually going to just pour that mixture right into a pot.
Do we need an eye, huh?
Yeah, and then we'll just let it simmer for about 15 minutes. The simmering brings all those flavors together.
So that goes for 15 minutes.
Yeah.
And then when it's done, it kind of looks like what is in the jar here. Is that right?
Yeah, so it looks exactly like out of the jar.
Exactly, I should say.
And so
I'm gonna take a spoon.
What's unique about the AYO sauces and pepper sauces in particular is there's a bit of an oil base. So you can see that kind of rise to the top.
Yep.
That's our olive oil. What makes it really special is not only can you use it as a traditional hot sauce, so we put that on eggs or anything else you would put hot sauce on, but that oil gives it a nice coating that you can also use it as a marinade. So one of Fred's favorite go-to recipes is this incredible grilled fish. A little salt and pepper, a whole fish, and drizzle some of that pepper sauce on it, and you're good to go.
All right, so you guys are college sweethearts. You started this thing together, and you want to give back, and you've been giving back with this new company. Talk about how and what you've done to do that.
When we started AYO, it was incredibly important that we gave back to the communities that inspired the brand, and in fact, it's actually one of our core tenets. So in the winter of 2020, we made an investment in partnership with an organization called Girl Power Africa to transform 15 acres of latent land into working farmland. And we're already seeing incredible progress against that land. So we've actually built a home for a groundskeeper, and we're already seeing the first crop yields coming in. That yield will be used to change the lives of women who were victims of the Ebola epidemic and civil war in Liberia.
Fantastic. And if more people want to check this out, what's the best way for them to go about doing that? Besides the stores, it's Mariano's, and what was the other store here?
It's Target.
Target?
Yes, and then you can find us online at www.ayo-foods.com.
Well, thank you very much to the both of you. I appreciate it very much. That's the Chicago scene for today downtown, TBARNAS at WGNTV.com. If you have a suggestion for the Chicago scene, that's tbarness at WGNTV.com. Be sure to say hi to these guys. Thank you very much to the two of you, and look for these on store shelves.